Genghis Khan named his third son, the charismatic Ogedei, as his successor before he died in 1227. According to Mongol tradition, Genghis Khan was buried in a secret location. The regency was originally held by Ogedei's younger brother, Tolui, until Ogedei's formal election in 1229. Among his first actions, Ogedei sent troops to subjugate the Bashkirs, Bulgars and other people in the steppes. In the east part of the empire, Ogedei focused his attention in Manchuria to re-establish the order, and in 1230, the Great Khan personally led his army in the campaign against the Jin dynasty of China. Ogedei's general, Subutai, captured the capital of Emperor Wanyan Shoksu in the siege of Kaifeng in 1232. The Jin dynasty collapsed in 1234 when the Mongols captured Kaizu, the town of which the emperor had fled. With the assistance of the Song dynasty, the Mongols finished the Jin in that year. There was an attempt to annex the Korean peninsula, but it failed. Meanwhile, the small kingdoms in southern Persia were incorporated into the empire. Ogedei ordered to his nephew, Batu Khan, to push into Eastern Europe, one of his most important contributions to this empire. This territory was called Rus, a place where cities and small kingdoms were ruled by different dynasties. The main force arrived at Ryazan in December 1237. Ryazan refused to surrender, and the Mongols sacked the city and then stormed through other Russian cities. Other cities, such as Novgorod in the north, were not attacked due to the dense forest surrounding it. However, Novgorod acted as a tax collector for the Mongol Empire in the coming decades. Also, the important city of Kiev was sacked, and a huge destruction of both population and city structures was left behind. By 1240, all Kievan Rus had fallen to the invaders, except for a few northern cities. These conquests involved not only the Rus, but Volga Bulgaria, Poland, Hungary, Dalmatia, and Wallachia. Over the course of 4 years, the Mongols quickly overtook most of the major Eastern European cities. As a result of the successful invasions, many of the conquered territories would become part of the Mongol Empire. The Mongols continued to invade Central Europe. One army defeated the Polish forces at the Battle of Legnica in 1241. 2 days later, the armies regrouped and crushed the Hungarian army at the Battle of Mohi, continuing their destruction and conquering. Large other cities and communities in Eastern Europe have witnessed their pillagings. Even if there were important military successes, tensions continue to exist within the Mongol ranks. Batu's relations with Guyuk, Ogedei's eldest son, and with Buri, the grandson of Chagatai Khan, remained under tension. And after Batu Khan's huge success in southern Rus, the relations worsened. The Mongol administration started to have their own issues, especially in the matter of who will be next to the throne. The fight for power will continue from this time on, but even so, in this situation, Guyuk and Buri could not do anything to damage Batu's position, as long as his uncle Ogedei was still alive. The Great Khan continued his offensives in almost every direction, even into the Indian subcontinent, but invasions into India eventually failed, and the Mongols were forced to fall back. Ogedei agreed to end the conflict with Goryeo by making it a client state, agreeing for some royal marriages. Although the Mongol forces were good in cavalry and siege attacks, as they went further westward, they became more and more inefficient. Many strongholds had food stores and water supplies at ready for the long siege battles. The Mongol leader Ogedei died in December 1241. His death forced the Mongol armies to halt their westward expansion, and after him, power disputes started to exist in the empire. And this weakened their state, which was already overextended on such vast territories. From Ogedei's death in 1241 until 1246, the Mongol Empire was ruled under the regency of Ogedei's widow, Torejin Khatun. she set the stage for the new Khan, her son Guyuk, and he would take control in 1246. He and Ogday's nephew Batu Khan, both grandsons of Genghis Khan, fought bitterly for power. Guyuk died in 1248 on the way to confront Batu, another nephew of Ogday's, and so a third grandson of Genghis Khan's, Monke, took control of the throne in 1251 with Batu's approval. In 1255, while in the Monke's reign, Batu had repaired his relations with the Great Khan, and so finally felt secure enough to prepare invasions westward into Europe. However, he died before his plans could be implemented. At the death of Genghis Khan, the empire was already huge enough that one ruler could not oversee the administrative aspects of each region. The Great Khan realized this and created khanates for his sons, daughters, and his future grandsons to rule over the conquered territories in order to keep a constant rule of law. Mongol's administrative policies extended to these regions, often causing local unrest due to the Mongol occupation and taxation. Some khanates and regions were more closely linked to a centralized Mongol policies than others, depending on their location, who oversaw them, and the amount of resistance in each region. It also should be noted that the vastness of the empire had many religions and cultural traditions, including Taoism, Christianity, Buddhism, and Islam. These practices were often at odds with the Khanate rulers and their demands. Some of the most important khanates to exist under Mongol's administration included the Golden Horde, Chaganate Khanate, and Ilkhanate. Mongke died while conducting war in China in the summer of 1259. He was possibly a victim of some disease. However, there are no confirmed records on the cause of his death. His son Asutai conducted him back to Mongolia to be buried. The ruler's death sparkled the 4-year Toluid civil war between his two younger brothers, Kublai and Allegretto, and also created more division in the Mongol Empire. Battles started to happen between the armies of Kublai and those of his brother Allegretto. Kublai eliminated Allegretto's supporters and he took control of the administration in southern Mongolia. Other challenges started to happen between their cousins, the Chagatates. The Battle of Ain Jalut in 1260 was a turning point. The Mongol advance had been beaten back in direct combat by the Mamluks, and this marked the beginning of the fragmentation of the empire due to wars over succession. The grandchildren of Genghis Khan disputed whether the royal line should follow from the initial heir, Ogedei, or one of his other sons. Kublai Khan took power and he established the Yuan dynasty in China. But the civil war started again as he sought unsuccessfully to regain control of Genghis Khan's other descendants. In southwestern Ilkhanate, Hulagu Khan was loyal to his brother, Kublai, but clashes with their cousin Berke, the ruler of the Golden Horde, began in 1262. Berke also forged an alliance with the Egyptian Mamluks against Hulagu, and he supported Allegretto. At the same time, all the wars in the Mongol Empire greatly weakened the authority of the Great Khan, and the empire fractured into autonomous then independent khanates. Only the Ilkhanate remained loyal to the Yuan court, but endured its own power struggles, in part because of a dispute with the growing Islamic factions. The four khanates continued to develop separately and function as independent states. Kublai came to regard himself as a Chinese emperor more than anything else, and similarly to other dominions, developed on lines which were less and less Mongol. This happened in other khanates due to the fact that various Khans converted to other religions. Gradually, the Mongol Empire finally broke up into four remaining empires: the Yuan of China, established by the Kublai Khan, the Chaganate of Central Asia, the Ilkhanate of Middle East, and the Golden Horde. Each one of them will collapse at their own time, but these empires are a subject for another videos, which will probably come in the near future. The Mongol Empire grew to its great extent and then fragmented in less than 100 years, but its impact on the world was huge. The Mongol Empire dissolved, but the whole world never forgot Genghis Khan. We want to thank you so much for watching this video.